Hello, hello everyone, and welcome to Wisdom Well Wednesday. Today we are doing Aromatherapy 101, your guide to essential oils. So today we're just going to dive into the power of essential oils, what they are, how to use them. This is totally for beginners or to very, very briefly brush up on your knowledge of different ways of using them and how to use them safely. We are going to look at how to use them in your home, how to use them for well-being, or just like you just want to learn something new, just have a little bit of information. Welcome.
Have you ever experienced a single scent that transported you to a place of calm or joy? Welcome to Aromatherapy 101, where we will explore the enchanting world of essential oils. Discover how these natural wonders can uplift your spirit, enhance your health, and transform your space. Are you ready to breathe in the benefits?
So whether you want to use your essential oils just to purely relax you, or you want to find out a couple of different health benefits, we're going to dive in today of different ways that you can use these beautiful and powerful oils in your everyday life. Yeah, so let's dive in. Okay, so for those of you that don't know, I grew up very into healing and all this kind of stuff. I loved massage. My mum actually bought me my first aromatherapy starter kit when I was, I'm going to say 8 or 9. And it came with like a little book and everything, and it was only I think 5 different oils, but I just dove right into that. I learned what each of them meant and how to use them, and how to put them on the skin, how to inhale them, and for what purposes, all of this stuff. And I was just fascinated. I loved plants and flowers and things anyway, and I just loved the idea of making them into oils and incorporating them into healing practices. So that's how I got into aromatherapy. And actually, funnily enough, because obviously I was doing my healing stuff when I was very, very young, it wasn't for many, many years until I could actually get qualified in them. And my first ever qualification in any of my healing practices was aromatherapy. So that's how much I loved it at the time. So I was 19 when I first got my aromatherapy qualification, many, many, many decades ago. So first off, let's just talk about what essential oils are. They're literally just the essence of a plant or a flower, a herb, even like citrus fruits and things like that. So it's the way of extracting the oils, and the oils have healing properties, or they have properties that help for certain problems, whether that be physical, emotional, mental. We're going to go into cleaning, even cleaning your house. We'll go into that a bit later as well. So it's just fascinating that how all these oils can do so many different things to help you in your everyday life. So how are they extracted though? Because, you can't really put a needle in and like extract each flower like that, right? So, or each herb or whatever. So what they do is they usually do something called steam distillation, or they do cold pressing. Cold pressing is usually more for citrus fruits and stuff, where they get the peel and they kind of compress it in the name, which just like lets the oil seep out. And then that's how you get oils like lemon and bergamot and orange, like the various different oranges. Then we have the steam distillation, where again, it's in the name. They pass steam through, and that extracts the oil, like the heat and everything just extracts the oil from the plant, and it drips into a bottle. So it's all a bit of a process. Luckily, to do aromatherapy and to incorporate it into your healing practices or just into your everyday lives, you don't need to know how to distill them or how to cold press them. You can literally just go and buy them. And even if you don't want to go out and leave your home, you can order from so many different places online. And again, we'll get into knowing how to find the best quality oils for your budget as well a bit later on. Just a little thing on the difference between essential oils and fragrances. So fragrances are very much lab and synthetic. So they're not the natural. Essential oils are literally 100% pure from that plant, herb, whatever it is that you're using the oil from. But the fragrance is lab, it's synthetic, it's sometimes chemical. So fragrance would be like, when you go down the laundry detergent aisle in the grocery store or something, and you get hit with that smell. And it can be a nice smell, but it's also, there's like that underlying chemically smell, right? So these products are made with what we call fragrance. So if, people will maybe get fragrance just to put in a candle to make it scented, or they'll put it in a distilling thing where like they'll put it in hot water and let the steam and that oil make their house smell. So you can use it for that. You cannot put it on your skin for sure. You cannot put it in a bath. You cannot like have a foot bath with it. You can't do anything where you're going to come into actual contact with it. And in fact, I personally wouldn't even use them as an inhalation thing at all. I wouldn't have them in the hot water steaming around my house or anything like that, or even in a scented candle. If I wanted to use anything like that, I would use the essential oils. And yes, okay, I have the essential oils, so it's not a big jump, but it's better on your whole nervous system, it's better on your lungs, it's better on your mood in general if you're using the essential oils. That's a little safety thing there for you. If you like the fragrance stuff, by all means use it, just don't put it on your skin. So let's talk about the purity and quality. So even though there are a lot of places that sell essential oils, not the fragrances, the essential oils, the pure ones. Some of them do not do 100% pure. Some of them do not use the best quality ingredients and stuff like that. So if you do actually want to get any oils, I would encourage some kind of just research, like ask friends that already use essential oils, look at reviews on their websites, or even not even on their website, on external ones like Reddit or whatever people are using now. Like look on just to find out what people think of it and what they've experienced with it. And you're going to try and find the company that one has a really good reputation, has really good quality essential oils. You're going to really want to make sure that they are getting it all legally and ethically and all this kind of stuff, and just harvesting in a good way. So harvesting where they're not just taking and depleting that supply, that maybe they're replanting in some way. So good harvest places. You're going to obviously want ones that are in your budget. Now, all the oils are going to be different prices anyway, because things like lavender and stuff, the ones that are very, very popular, can be grown in abundance, right? So they're going to be a lot cheaper than, say, rose oil, or like there's ones that are like super, super high vibrating, very, very rare even. There's some really rare ones, and those are going to be a lot more expensive than the more common ones that you probably know when you think of essential oils. But even with that, there are companies that have a lot cheaper than more expensive companies and still don't deplete any of the quality or the 100% thing. So, and also if you're going to get them delivered, you obviously want to make sure that even if they're cheaper, then you're not going to get screwed over with the delivery cost as well. So it's very much about your budget, but also what's the best quality essential oils that you can get with your budget. Especially there's going to be some oils that you're going to spend a little bit more on because you really need it, you really love it, you're going to use it really well. So I hope all that made sense so far. So let's talk about the benefits of aromatherapy and essential oils. When I say aromatherapy, it's the practice of actually using the essential oils. So we've already kind of glossed over a few little things, but let's go into more details. So you can use aromatherapy for relaxing. So you could have them just in a diffuser where it's just like even a plug-in one or a candle one, where it's just making your room smell in a certain way, and maybe you put in some oils that are going to help you relax. They could be ones that actually are famous for being relaxing oils, or they could be ones that just give you a special memory or make you personally feel relaxed. You can use them on your body for massage, whether that be self-massage or for others, or just to help something. So for example, if you haven't been to the gym very often and you overextended on your weights and now your arm really aching because you've used that muscle and it's not used to being used, so it's very sore, you can use certain oils to kind of release the strain and the pain in that muscle. So you would add what we call a carrier oil. That would be like coconut oil, almond oil, grapeseed oil, whatever oil that you use. I mean, a pinch you can use like olive oil even, and you would add a few drops of your essential oil. So for example, with this one, I would use marjoram, or I would use rosemary for this one, because they're very, very warming and they really help the muscle to just release and to get rid of that pain in that muscle. So that's what I would do for that. Yeah, you can put oils on your head for a headache. If you have a bit of a stomach upset or you're feeling like nausea or something, you could use like peppermint, either just smelling it, or you could like rub it into your stomach, something like that. All of these can really, really help on many different ways of healing and helping you with any kind of ailments, whether they be mental or emotional or physical. They can even put you into a spiritual kind of meditation. So for example, frankincense is a really good one. That's why they use it in churches, because the frankincense really puts you into a meditative state and allows you to feel quite divine or feel divinity around you. So that's nice. And I use it myself especially when I'm doing Indian head massage. I will put a few drops on my hand and I'll get the client to breathe that in, and then that just makes them all relaxed. We've covered the mood enhancement a little bit there. Also for like sleep as well. You can have it on like a tissue or a handkerchief or something by your bedside, or just in a distiller that like during the night. Make sure you've got enough water in there though, or that you just, if it's a candle one, definitely don't have it overnight. Blow it out before you go to sleep. But you can make the room smell all relaxed and things before you go in, like a few hours beforehand. Just get that smell in there, and then you go into your room and it's created this haven of sleep and relaxation. So here's few little examples of some oils that you've probably heard of and what they're used for. So you might even have these around your home and you just use them because they smell nice and you don't really know very much about them. So just very, very briefly, lavender, obviously, the one that everyone knows. Usually someone at least has it in the house. There are people that hate the smell. That's fine too. Um, what I've kind of found as an aromatherapist is sometimes people say they really hate something like lavender, but on the rare occasions that they really, really, really need the lavender, they will actually start liking the smell. The body's way of telling them that yes, usually we don't like the smell of lavender, but you really need it right now to relax or to go to sleep or just in general. And so they will suddenly like the smell. They'll suddenly want the smell on them or to, just enjoy it. So that's really, really interesting that the body can tell you what you need just by what smell you're drawn to. So lavender, yes, it's very much a relaxing one. And you can use it for like sort of any kind of skin impurities. So if you've got a zit or you've got scars or anything where it's like healing, so not an open wound, but once that's sort of healed over a little bit, you can just put the lavender on to soothe it and to stop any scarring. Same with like burns and things like that. Once the heat's gone down a bit, you can add the lavender and that soothes it and stops any scarring from happening or significantly does reduce that scarring. So yeah, because it's a relaxing one, it's very, very good for sleep, especially for children. It's a very good one for children. It's very safe for children. Obviously don't put it directly on their pillow because like they can't get it in their eyes, obviously, but you have it just like again in their room somewhere, or there's even like these sort of teddy bear things where they've got actual lavender inside and they can hug them and smell them. Yeah, just a little thing there. Peppermint's really good as like an energy boost, but it's also very good for like headaches and things like that. So you can actually combine it with the lavender as well for a headache, or just have it by itself. And as I said as well, it's really good for like nausea or any kind of like upset stomachs and things like that. Peppermint's great for that. So yeah, you would just inhale it, or you would like rub it with the carrier oil on wherever you needed it. Tea tree is another famous one. Again, that's very much for skin impurities, especially zits and stuff. So a lot of teenagers will perhaps use some tea tree or a product with tea tree in it because it's very, very good for bringing out all the toxins and the gunk and like clearing up any of the problems that come with the acne. So because it's got this very purifying essence to it, it's very, very good for things like cuts and things like that. So if you have anything where you don't have or you don't want to use any kind of antiseptic or anything like that, but you obviously need to put something on it so that no gunk gets into the wound, you can use something like tea tree, and that has properties that act like, or are the antiseptic and the disinfectant kind of thing, and get out all the gunk that maybe has gone in when you cut yourself or when you scraped yourself. Eucalyptus, I mean, everyone knows eucalyptus is good for respiratory, right? Like it's very good if you have a cold. Like people put it in their like bathroom or whatever to clear out their nasal passages and really, really help with like any kind of allergies or cold or flu or anything where you're all bunged up and you feel so that's very, very famous for that. I mean, these are all very generalization. There is so much more that they do. It's just to give you a little idea of the different things that they can do for you. And then you have like things like lemon. It's really, really good for mood. Like I used to work in a massage place in London, England, and we would have lots of business people there, and so they would come in with like jet lag and stuff, and so lemon I would use on them because it's extremely good for that jet lag. It just takes away that it's not a headache, right? It's just like that kind of brain fog. It takes away all of that and allows people to perk up a bit. It like wakes you up. So in that same strain, I also used it in high school and college for hangovers for my friends, right? So it's a very good one to help just perk you up when you're feeling very groggy. So hangovers, jet lag, you just need a boost. You had a really bad night, a really bad night's sleep, lemon, great. So yeah, just very, very uplifting one for you. Okay, so let's talk very, very quickly about how you might want to use it. So I've been saying diffusing a lot and assuming you know what that is. So it's literally like you can use a candle one or a plug-in one, and it's usually like a kind of, oh, actually, I have one here. It's usually something like this. You've probably seen this in stores. So you would put a candle in here, and then you would put water in the bowl at the top, right? And then what you would do after that is you would put a few drops of your chosen oil. So if you want a nice relaxing night, you would put lavender in perhaps. If you're, needing a bit of a boost in the morning, maybe it's the lemon, whatever it is, right? And you just put that in the hot water in the top, and then the candle underneath is going to keep that warm, because this is usually like a terracotta or something that will allow the warmth, and it just allows that sort of steam and the smell of that to go out throughout your entire house. So that's a really good one. There's also ones that you can plug into the wall as well, that you could use if you don't want to have the candle. Or you could simply do something where you just put a pot on top of your stove, like on your hob or whatever country I'm talking to right now. Just the bit at the top where you put your pan, and then you can put your oils in and allow that steam to go around your house. Topical is obviously when you put it on your skin. Please make sure that if you're using more than one drop of most oils, that you at least put it with some kind of carrier oil. Like again, it doesn't need to be anything fancy. It could just be coconut oil or something that you have in your cooking, or it could be, especially for face and stuff, maybe like apricot kernel or something like that. You want to do something a bit more friendly for your face, depending on your skin type. But yeah, it's when you add it to your skin. Now, as I said before, if you have like acne or something, and if it's just like one or two, you can get the lavender or the tea tree, and you can just put a drop on your finger and then just dab it wherever you've got the acne. If you're really, really bad, or it's your whole back or something, then you would want to add a couple of drops to the carrier oil and get someone to either put it on for you or put it on yourself, right? Yeah, so if you're concerned, you can always do a patch test as well and just put it on a small little part of you and just see if you react to it, because sometimes maybe you put a little bit too much in because you're not really familiar with what you're doing. You can always look up online. There's a lot of ones that tell you like it's X amount of carrier oil to X amount of drops of these group of oils, because each oil is a bit more potent than other ones. So there's some that you can put maybe 20 drops in, and then there's other ones that are a bit more harsher on your skin, so maybe you can only put 5 in for that same amount of carrier oil. So just make sure. There's so many places online that you can look, or you can look in books. Inhalation, so obviously you could do that with this distilling, but if you want to do it a bit more sort of, say you've got like the cold or sinus pressure or something, you might want to get a bowl. And anyone that uses Vicks and stuff, it's the same kind of process, where you put the oil in a bowl with hot water, and then you put a towel over your head and you just breathe in the steam, and that would be like the eucalyptus or the peppermint or something like that, just to clear out all of that. So just make sure that it's not burning your face, you're not got right into the water, you're just doing the steam. Okay. Inhalation could also just be like you have a handkerchief or a tissue with a few drops on it, either by your bed or in your pocket, that you can breathe in whenever you need it, maybe for an anxiety thing or some kind of emotional support, something like that, or a mood enhancement. Or you can have bracelets. I forgot to put mine on. Bracelets where you have like what we call a lava stone, and it's this black porous stone. You can put a drop or two of your chosen essential oil, and then throughout the day you can sniff it. They also do them in necklaces and stuff like that. So absolutely, that's a great one. And then it also, you just, when you're moving your hand around especially, you can smell this oil. Bathing, you can obviously go into a bath of essential oil. Again, just check how many drops of that particular oil is safe for the bath. Some people like to add in some of the carrier oil as well, just to do that extra step. It's totally up to you with your comfort level, but that's a way of inhalation as well as soaking into your body. And it's really, really relaxing to have a bath with the essential oils in, obviously. You could even do something where you put a bit in your shower if you don't have a bath, and then the steam from the shower activates that in your shower and helps to wake you up in the morning. Yeah, so this is all a really nice way of using the cleansing of your body as a way of adding that extra bit that helps with your mental health or your body in general, like by adding the oil to help with any physical problems. And then, of course, as I said at the beginning, you can use it for cleaning. So some people, they don't like, or they are allergic even to some of the store-bought products, like cleaning products and things, or they just really don't like the overpowering smell of, they have really sensitive nose or something like that. So they just, for whatever reason, don't want to use the store-bought stuff for certain things, perhaps, or for everything. So essential oils can be really, really good for that, because as we said, with the acne, with the tea tree is, antimicrobial and antiseptic and all of the antis. So it's really, really good for killing germs and bacteria and stuff like that. So you can put things like that into a spray bottle of vinegar, and now the vinegar smell is going to dissipate throughout your day, and it's just going to leave with the essential oils that you put in. So you could spray and use like as an all-purpose cleaner. So any kind of like spillage or just cleaning your work surfaces or whatever, you can spray down with the vinegar mix. Make sure that it's a glass bottle rather than a plastic bottle, because the oils tend to not react very well with plastic. So yeah, so you just spray down, and that would not only make the kitchen cleaning stuff smell nicer, it also is cleaner, and like cleaner as in not chemically, like you say, like if you have animals. Again, we're going to go into contraindications in a minute, but some essential oils are not good for children or animals. So make sure if you have any of those, or if you have any kind of allergic reaction to anything, that you're not putting them in your cleaner, obviously. But otherwise, it's a lot better. So if like, God forbid, your kid or whatever gets into your cleaning products, the natural cleaning products that you've made with your essential oils are nowhere near as dangerous, poison control kind of than the store-bought stuff as well. So it's actually, it's not good for them, but it's not going to burn their skin or anything like that, right? Just another thing with cleaning is you can always add it to the water that you're using to mop your floors, or to wash down your door or your windows or whatever. You can add this. So any way that you want to clean with it would be fantastic. Okay, so let's talk about the precautions. So these are called contraindications. They are when an oil is not very good for a person for whatever reason. So obviously that would be like if you're pregnant or you're breastfeeding or you have a very young baby. There are oils that you either, well, most oils you can't use. There are some oils that you can use during these times. And it also depends how far along in your pregnancy you are for certain oils too. Just because some might induce labor as well. So some are actually really, really good when you want to induce labor to help alongside anything else that you're using. But yeah, so there's a lot of reasons why you wouldn't use many oils for pregnant, breastfeeding, or very young children or babies. And then as the baby grows up, you can use a few more drops of oils, and you can use other oils that you weren't able to use before. So just make sure that if you are using for yourself as a pregnant person or someone else as a pregnant person or like your child, make sure that the ages or the trimesters of the pregnancy are not contraindicated for these certain oils. If in doubt, just don't use them, or at least ask someone like an aromatherapist or a very, very trusted book or online something or other, right? Because there will be some that say yes you can use it and others that say no you can't, and some that say you can use it but only in this way. So it does get a bit confusing and stuff, so just go with what you're comfortable with, and if in doubt, don't use them. Other things would be like peppermint oil is not very good with certain medications, for example, and it's not that it does any harm. Like homeopathy, like any homeopathic medication, it just null and voids that. So it doesn't do anything harmful to you. It just stops any of the homeopathic medicine from doing anything. That makes sense. So there's a lot of stuff like that where it doesn't necessarily harm you to accidentally take it when you've taken this medication or homeopathic medicine or something similar, but it just makes that medicine just not work. So just something to think of there. Yeah, I mean, there's so many more like certain issues like epilepsy or high blood pressure, stuff like that. If you have anything, like, I mean, if you have any issues with anything, just make sure that that oil is good and not gonna harm or just, not really be very good for you. Just always look that up or ask an aromatherapist. So that's all for today. I hope that you enjoyed that. I hope that that helped a little bit with your introduction to aromatherapy. If you have any questions about aromatherapy, please do reach out to me. I would absolutely love to help you along your journey with it. And feel free to share in the comments or just with me privately about any experiences that you've had with aromatherapy. Like, how has it helped you? What's your favorite oil? Anything like that. Um, next week. Next week, oh, it's a lovely one. Healing the Rose Line, Transforming Our Maternal Legacy. So this is something that's coming up a lot right now in a lot of my work. So, and it's all about the idea that your mother's line, so your mum, your maternal grandmother, her mother, her mother, her mother, is this powerful line. Like all your lineage is powerful, but we're actually going to go through this rose line, this maternal line next week. So please do tune into that one. That one's going to be fascinating. Yeah, as always, please like, subscribe, share, turn on notifications, and let me know if there's any episodes that you would like me to do, or a number of them, like maybe a series or something. Absolutely would love to do that. In fact, the Rose Line was a requested one, so I think the aromatherapy one was, but many, many months ago. So I apologize to the person that's been waiting patiently for the aromatherapy one. Yeah. So I will see you next week. Have a wonderful week, everyone. Bye.
From the wisdom well, keep shining, continue learning, and stay curious. Until next Wednesday.